Anthony Davis on this team's a much better player than Patrick Ewing. Give me a break. Tatum's much better than Scottie Pippen. LeBron right now is better than Magic was to me at 32 or 33 years old.
The disrespect is blowing my mind right now. This sort of disrespect makes me wish I could actually fight Colin Cowherd. Not fight him, that would be ridiculous. I would just beat him to a tar. I mean, we're both old. That's not it. I don't feel bad about that, but look at him. It'd be like kicking a puppy dog. So, I'd have to actually feel bad about it. But he needs to be slapped in the face. He needs one good punch at a minimum. People need to face consequences. Nobody faces consequences now. Everybody's running around, running their mouth, protected by the fact that you can't make anyone face the consequences of the stupid things coming out of their mouths. Man. And he says it so arrogantly. Anthony Davis is much better than Patrick Ewing. Give me a break, he adds to the end of that.
And give me a break.
What the shit?
Give you a break? Look, Anthony Davis is skilled, but it's funny. While he's LeBron James's teammate, you guys don't want to give him credit. Now he's blowing Patrick Ewing out of the water. Here's the thing. Different time, different type of players. Men versus prima donnas. Patrick Ewing would destroy Anthony Davis. He would ruin his life just based on the fact that Patrick Ewing was a man and Anthony Davis isn't.
Here's Ewing going all the way! Sure did. Oh my goodness! Ewing! Oh wow!
This is Patrick Ewing doing this to another person that would destroy Anthony Davis. Alonzo Mourning was a man-sized man. These guys are dunking on other big men, not dunking against divas that are getting out of the way. Anthony Davis would be done after Game 1 of Team USA 2024 versus Team USA 1992. The skill, listen, Cowherd, if you want to make an argument and present some facts, but don't make your stupid little goblin leprechaun face and then arrogantly say, "Are you kidding me?" Anthony Davis would be out after Game 1 from the humiliation. You won't even get a chance to find out if he's more skilled. Cowherd, tell me about Anthony Davis's skills going against Shaq. You telling me Anthony Davis will take down Shaq? Because Patrick Ewing did pretty well against Shaq, and he was older. I'm not listing Ewing above Shaq, but there's a little bit of a pecking order that you need to go through here. Look at this mid-range package that Patrick Ewing shows against Shaquille O'Neal. Then he talks about Tatum versus Pippen. And again, when you guys are trying to rip down Michael and lift LeBron, you say Pippen was godlike. It's like Pippen was the best possible teammate ever. Now he's not even as good as Tatum, but they're not even comparable. Like, the way that they play isn't similar in any way, shape, or form. But Tatum looked like crap again against Sudan. So what is Cowherd so arrogant about? And then he brings up Leitner. Can you cherry pick any more? Everyone knows that Leitner was on that team just in the traditional sense of keeping a college player on the team. Nobody thinks that he was better than any NBA players that were left off. Don't act like that was the best possible that 1992 had to offer. That was a little tribute to a tradition of having a college player. Just stop it. Stop it. It's so obvious. This guy's a professional saying these stupid things. And he's not just saying them, he's saying it with this authority, and it's so obvious. It's not even close. And he's wrong about all of it. And then he says that
LeBron right now is better than Magic was to me at 32 or 33 years old.
You know what? I will punch you in the face for that. You disgusting piece of trash, Colin Cowherd. And once again, how is it even comparable? You know, Magic Johnson is the one who would be delivering the dimes for other people to finish with a dunk. LeBron is the selfish guy, always cheating, always cherry picking, always slinking away so that he can be the one that gets the easy dunk, because today's audience is dumb enough to be impressed by that. Not by the guys playing the defense, coming up with a loose ball and then throwing the ball to the lazy cherry picker.
Basketball is so much better now than it's ever been. I mean, the game is incredible. Jason Tatum did not start last night.
Jason Tatum shouldn't start, you idiot. Jason Tatum, you know, forget the Jason Tatum bit. Let's focus on the fact that Colin Cowherd is saying opinions as if they are facts, undisputed facts. Basketball is better now than it's ever been. That is the opposite of what people are saying. People are disgusted with the current game, with the current product of the NBA. And I just watched the Sudan United States game, and I have to watch professionals get away with cheating now because the LeBron effect has infected FIBA. Did you see the turnovers? The turnovers were embarrassing. LeBron's turnovers were embarrassing. LeBron trying to handle the ball is embarrassing. He's a falling down boulder going down a hill that throws the ball up, and he gets bailed out with ridiculous calls. And he's allowed to be dirty. They're allowing him to be dirty. Barkley got international criticism for elbowing a guy that he thought was elbowing him. I mean, international criticism. It was a big deal. LeBron James sets a moving screen, takes 2 steps into a guy that's moving and throws his shoulder, and they ignore it. Yeah, it's not even a debate about, oh, well, was that bad or was that in bad taste for the United States, like they treated Barkley? No, they're going to pretend it didn't even happen. Not even going to criticize LeBron James. That's where FIBA is now. I'm not even going to waste time talking about the traveling. I mean, the traveling is pretty much every play, every other play. If we include carrying, then it's every play. Don't say that the game is better. The rules have been dumbed down and ignored to compensate for worse players. So scumbags like this can come on television and lie to a robotically obedient, moronic audience.
The 92 Dream Team, Larry Bird was shot. He retired 10 days after the Olympics.
I said this on the live show Sunday, but I'll repeat it because it's worth repeating. Larry Bird retired because it was the right thing to do. His injuries were plaguing him. So how did he play when he was on the floor, Colin Cowherd? How did Larry Bird perform when he was on the floor? Yeah. Once again, in yet another way, more of a man than any of the guys on today's team. He went out there and gritted through the pain because he was asked to deliver for his country and represent them and bring back the gold with dominance. He didn't go out there and try and get stats or bring personal glory to himself. He laid on the sideline in pain in between plays. But when he was in, he delivered. And that says a lot to me. Somebody understands the importance, understands the honor of playing for his country, so he's going to give it his all while he is in. He's not going to campaign to be on the team for his own glory. Larry Bird, riddled by back problems, averaged 20.2 points, 9.6 rebounds, and 6.8 assists during his last season. The season that he was riddled with back problems, so he didn't play as much. He only played 45 games because of those injuries, but when he was in, he had great numbers. The season before, he played 75 games, which just shows when he was able to give it his all on more nights, he did. Let's look at LeBron James, whom they call an Iron Man. LeBron James played 45 games in 2021. What was his excuse? Unproven, illegitimate injuries. He only played 55 games in 2019. He only played 56 games in 2022. He only played 55 in 2023. My God. I mean, the guy's been on vacation for the last 5 years, half the season, and we have to hear about him defeating Father Time? Taking breaks on the court? At least Larry Bird had the decency to know when it was time to hang it up instead of running everybody through the mud of his ego. Let me be very clear. Larry Bird decided, oh, it's time to retire when I can only play this many games. And now, that's normal. That's just what guys play all the time now. And we actually commend them for it. As usual, when it comes to Larry Bird, there's a great story to be told. If Larry Bird was so bad, why did he school the college squad that was picked to scrimmage against the '92 Olympic team? At age 35, he did this. And it goes to show a point that I'm going to end this video on about the mentality of the guys back then. One of the players, Rodney Rogers, talked to Larry, hey, you ain't hit a jumper since '84. You know, they were talking back and forth. That's all good. It's all good when you can back it up. Today's guys tweet shit and delete shit. They don't back up things, but they don't stop talking. Well, Larry Bird delivered. And he was calling out his shots as he was doing it to these guys. Here's Jamal Mashburn's recounting of it as Larry Bird humiliated him, Chris Webber, and the rest of the college squad. One dribble, pull up, going left off glass, said Larry Bird. One dribble, going right, spin shot, bucket. Larry Bird was telling them what he was going to do and then doing it. He scored 9 times in a row. Left the court to go lay down because he couldn't sit on a bench. That's the mental strength that today's players don't have. The guy's in pain. His back bothered him enough that he couldn't sit down when he left the game. He had to lay down. But when he was in, he was embarrassing the other players. No matter which squad was more skilled. Today's people just like to throw out this general statement that today's players are more skilled. How do you even prove that exactly? I tell you what can be proven is who won the game at the end of the day. And if you took the 92 team and the 2024 team, the 92 team would win based on mental strength alone. They would crush and humiliate the 2024 team to where you wouldn't even have a chance to see their skills. But since we're talking about skills, let's continue with that. As I already mentioned, today's players don't even have to dribble by the rules. Everybody wants to talk about their shooting ability. Okay, let's talk about the shooting ability.
You had multiple guys on that team, multiple, who could not handle the ball and who couldn't shoot.
I want to hear specifics. You want to make a claim like that, you better call those guys out by name. I'd like to know who on the 92 Dream Team could not shoot or could not handle the ball. They may not have been the showboaters. They may have not have been the guys that demanded to have the ball. I mean, what's the problem with today's team? Everyone on the team is a generalist, and everybody thinks that they're God, and everybody thinks that they need the ball. Also, today's players are scared to death of a mid-range. Like, how many of them have a mid-range package? So then we look at the three-point package. Team USA shot 25% against Sudan. This is who you're bragging about? I couldn't look up how the 92 team played against South Sudan for comparison because South Sudan did not exist. Well, how about the best team at the time that we had to go against? Is that fair? The toughest competition? How do we shoot against the toughest competition? In an era that was not about three-point shooting, so people really didn't spend that much time in comparison to today working on their three-point shooting, Team USA shot 38.5% against Croatia. The 2024 team shot 25% against South Sudan. They couldn't shoot. They couldn't shoot. Who, you coward? Colin Cowherd. Tell me who on that team couldn't shoot. Chris Mullin? Guess what? Chris Mullin had to have been on that team because he could shoot. It's interesting the people that Cowherd cherry-picked to list. He doesn't go after Michael Jordan, of course. Barkley would be in the finals the very next year. Karl Malone would be in the finals not too much longer after that, facing against Michael Jordan. David Robinson would be in the finals following that. We need to demand more of these guys who have big presence in the media. I wish I could ask people not to watch Colin Cowherd or to boycott him or to call him out, but he has a huge following of dumb people. I mean, I have to wonder when I hear Cowherd say things this dumb, if it isn't a script written because he knows that the audience is full of dumb people. But that doesn't make what he's doing respectable. It makes him a slave to the wheel. It makes him worship money. It makes him a piece of trash for telling lies on television and disrespecting the greatest players on the greatest Olympic team ever. You don't do things like that.